Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be getting very personal with you guys. I'm just hoping that this can be educational for some people and hopefully you get something out of my experience with birth control. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Gemma. I'm also new to YouTube, so I'm really happy and excited that you're here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Let's jump right into the video. So my birth control journey started in September of 2018. This was a few months before I got married, and I made the decision that I was going to go on birth control because Alex and I both had plans as a married couple and as individuals that just it would be a little hard having kids and us accomplishing all of these goals that we had, some of them being school, which Alex is almost done. He's done in 3 weeks, which is very exciting, and then I'll be done next summer. So anyways, we had all of these plans to finish school before we had a baby, but Levi's here and it's been really hard getting all of these things done. So that was our original plan at the beginning, not to have kids until we were done with school and we were settled and we were ready to bring a child into this earth. I talked to my OBGYN about my options and he recommended I get the IUD. He said that was probably going to be the best option based on the things that I was telling him, all the concerns, and I just didn't want to forget to take a pill and end up pregnant, so he was like, this is you don't worry about it. Once it's placed, you forget about it, and it's highly effective. So I was like, let's do it. He recommended that I get the Kyleena placed, which is the smallest hormonal IUD that they have. They have hormonal and non-hormonal. Non-hormonal are the copper IUDs, but he recommended I get the Kyleena because it was really small. And for me personally, since I haven't had children or hadn't had children at that point, he was like, I think the Kyleena is probably your best option. It'll probably be the most comfortable placement and just overall experience. It would probably be the best. So I was like, okay, you're the expert, I'll go with the Kyleena. So before I got the Kyleena place, he prescribed a medication which he called the abortion pill. And basically what this pill did was it simulated what a period would be like. So your cervix dilated and it would soften and it would make the insertion of the IUD a lot easier since I hadn't had kids. So that pill, I had to take it 24 or 48 hours before the actual procedure. So I took the pill, I took painkillers before the appointment, and I was ready to go. Upon arriving, I saw all of the equipment that was going to be used to place this thing, and I freaked out. But the doctor, he calmed me down and he told me everything's gonna be fine, I totally believe that you can do it. He's like, it'll be fine, it's not gonna be the most pleasant experience, but I promise you once it's over and done with, you're gonna be really happy with this. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So the first thing that they have to do is open up your vaginal canal, and that's when they use the duck looking thing to prop it open. And they actually had to hold my cervix open as well. It just makes it easier to insert the IUD. So that was a different little device, and it was tiny, but it pinched and it hurt so bad. So he held open my cervix, and then after that, he's like, okay, now here comes the IUD. And the IUD was placed at the end of this long plastic, super thin tube. So the IUD was in there, and the strings that are attached to the IUD were in that plastic tube. So what they do is they insert that whole plastic thing up until it touches the upper wall of your uterus, and then they take out the plastic tube, and all that's left in there is the IUD and the long strings. After that, they trim the strings and get everything out, and then all you're left with is the IUD and short little strings. So he warned me, he's like, okay, here comes the IUD. Oh my god, you guys, when the IUD went in, when it was passing through my cervix, I literally thought I was gonna die. I had never experienced pain like that before. It was so painful, and tightened up, I clenched up, and he's like, it's okay, relax, try to relax. We're almost done. The IUD's in place. All I have to do is cut the strings. He cut the strings and he took everything out. And I was like laying there like, like, oh my God, like I cannot believe I just went through that. Like it was so painful. And he's like, you did it, you're a trooper, like just lay here, chill out, like just, you'll be fine. And then he continues to tell me that he had placed an IUD on this woman who had vaginally delivered twins, and she passed out. And he's like, yeah, like sometimes it's pretty intense for people. And I'm like, no kidding, that was like the most intense sensation, pain I had ever felt in my life. And I was like, this is crazy. Like I was like, when that thing went in, I was like thinking about taking it out, and I was like, oh my God, like it is gonna hurt so much. But anyways, that was done. Kylina was placed. He mentioned, you know, you might spot and cramp for a few days. Totally normal. Everything should go back to normal in, you know, in the matter of a few days. And sure enough, yeah, everything went back to normal. You know, he told me that it was effective pretty much as soon as it was placed. And so we were good to go. You know, and so we were really comfortable, you know, that knowing that us having sex wouldn't lead to us having a baby. Just because, like I mentioned, our plans just, we were nervous about having a baby and accomplishing all of these things that we wanted to before bringing kids into the world. Okay, so a few months after I got the Kylina, I actually ended up going to the ER because of excruciating abdominal pain. And I was convinced that this thing had gone through my uterine wall, because my doctor mentioned that that's a possibility, and actually a close friend of mine, hers went through. And so I was like, it's happening to me, and we have to go to the ER. I have to get surgery, I have to get this thing out, whatever. I ended up getting to the ER, and they ordered a CT scan just to make sure it wasn't any of my other organs, any like kidney stones or anything like that. And once they got the results back, they said that they had seen some fluid around one of my ovaries, and I can't remember which one it was, but they were saying they were going to send that over to my OB. I had to follow up with him, and he would let me know what they found. I was freaking out. So I get to my OB, and they're like, okay, so you have an infection on one of your ovaries and fallopian tubes. What we need to do is we need to act fast, and we need to give you this really strong antibiotic. You have to finish the whole course, and then come back once you're done with that, and we're going to do another transvaginal ultrasound to see if that cyst went away, if that infection went away. Right away I was like, okay, there's an infection in my fallopian tube and my ovary. Is this going to affect my chances of getting pregnant later on? And he's like, we're hoping it doesn't. That's why we're acting fast, and we're going to give you the antibiotic. I went home. I mean, I was so scared. So after they did the second transvaginal ultrasound, they were like, well, great news. That cyst and that infection resolved on that one ovary, but now you have a cyst in the other one. And they're like, we're hoping, you know, nothing happens with this one, but you know what? Your thing is you have cysts, and you get cysts, and they come and go. And I was like, okay, well, this is my life. I have ovarian cysts. But I was freaked out about it, so I made the decision to get the IUD out because I was really scared that that could be the reason why I was getting cysts, and I didn't want that to be the reason why I couldn't have kids later on in the future. So Alex and I were discussing different methods of birth control that we could use. We tried condoms. That was not our thing. Then we looked into like spermicide gel, and then women condoms, and you know, this was just research, and we were like doing research, but then I ended up getting pregnant during this time. It was literally a month, you guys, and I got pregnant. Like, it was so fast. And fast forward to me giving birth, and I'm at my follow-up 6-week appointment, and I was like, listen, I need to be on birth control because I'm not trying to have another baby right now. We cannot. Like, the first one was not planned. He was not an accident, but he was not planned, and it's been really hard doing our school, work, and just life, like church life, all of that. It's been really hard. So we're like, we cannot have another baby right now. And so he's like, okay, the IUD. And I was like, no, listen, I got my IUD removed the first time, and then I got pregnant. But the reason I got it removed is I just had a really bad experience with it. And he's like, okay, then the pill. And I was like, listen, you get really fat with the pill. And he's like, no, not if you get a low dose. So he prescribed this low estrogen pill that was supposed to be their lowest dose pill. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I did that for about 2 months. I ended up going back to the ER for another ruptured cyst. And then when I went back for my follow-up with the OB, they were like, this dose is way too low. In order to prevent the cysts from happening or rupturing or anything like that, you need to be on a higher dose. So I was like, okay, whatever, like, let's just do the higher dose of the pill. I took that for about 2 weeks, and I was feeling awful. Like, my side effects were terrible. My mood swings were horrible. My libido was just completely low and just non-existent, to be honest. And I had really, really bad cravings for just anything. So I was eating all of the time. And I ended up gaining 40 pounds on this pill. And so I messaged my doctor and I was like, listen, my side effects are not good. I'm not happy with this pill. And he's like, give it a couple more weeks because your body's adjusting to this. It could just be that. Give it a few more weeks and then we will see, you know, after that, like if we need to do something else. I gave it 2 more weeks and then I gave it 2 more weeks after that. And I was like, listen, my side effects are just getting worse. Like I can't deal with this. I'm miserable. And so he was like, okay, you tried, it's fine, I appreciate you trying, let's get you in for an IUD, because I was like, I need an IUD. Like that was I had no bad experiences with the Kyleena other than, you know, that one time that I went to the ER. But I'm not saying that the Kyleena did that, but I had no bad experiences as far as hormones or like weight gain or anything like that. So I was like, okay, fine, let's do the IUD. When I got there, I was like, I want the Kyleena because it's small. It was, you know, low dose. And he's like, look, I recommend you getting the Mirena because you already had a baby. So the Kyleena is going to be too small. There's a higher chance of it coming out or moving because you already had a baby. So I was like, okay, let's do the Mirena. And I got the Mirena placed. And this time, the placement, you guys, it was significantly less uncomfortable. I'm talking about like it was bearable. The pain was bearable. I was even shocked at like how little the pain was. Like it was literally just like little cramps and that was it. That experience was very different from the first one. Like it wasn't horrible. It wasn't fun, but it wasn't completely horrible. And so now my body is adjusting and going back to normal. I finally feel like myself, like I'm not angry all of the time or sad or wanting to eat everything in sight. You know, I haven't lost any of the weight that I've gained. I haven't gained any weight, which is a good thing. So now I know that, you know, this isn't affecting my weight anymore. It's just, that's going to be a process, you know, going back to my goal weight. But as far as how I feel now with the Mirena, I feel great. Like my libido is back, my mood is just excellent. Like my energy is back. I feel like myself. For me personally, I would choose the IUD over and over again. Like the insertion part is not fun and getting it placed and, you know, the risk of it moving and stuff like that. It sounds scary, but honestly, I would take all of that over experiencing all of the symptoms that I had with the pill. I do not want to go through that again. I am happy with the decision that I've made to get the Mirena. And again, this was my personal experience. Like this isn't saying that you're gonna go through the exact same things that I did if you were to try a pill versus a IUD. But that's what I went through personally. And I know a lot of girls who, when they were on the pill, had horrible side effects too. You know, but everybody is different and everybody reacts differently to different medications, and that includes birth control. So if you have any other questions, possibly ones that I did not address in this video, just not because I'm trying to be secretive about anything, but maybe it just slipped my mind and I just didn't mention something, feel free to message me. I will link my Instagram so you can send me a direct message there, and I would gladly answer any of your questions. I'm an open book. That is all for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys, this was a little bit educational for you guys, and maybe you can share it with someone who is between the pill or the IUD, and you can say, hey, this girl went through this, like, check it out. And if they have questions, I'm happy to answer those as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.